Their actions have demonstrated they have no intention whatsoever of reaching a substantial agreement.
Negotiations between the port and the Guam Federation of Teachers have dragged on for more than a year, and still no contract agreement. Chief negotiator now and union president Matt Rector accuses port management of unfair labor practices, specifically refusing to bargain in good faith, which, Rector says, means bargaining with the intent to reach an agreement.
It took us 6 months to even get to the table. They refused to negotiate. Then they sent a lawyer to the table that took us another couple of months just to come up with ground rules.
Rector's mantra at the bargaining table is the same as it was on the campaign trail: a living wage. Stevedores stateside make an average of $90,000 a year. The wage for a stevedore on Guam?
Here they're making about anywhere between $8 and $10 an hour. I mean, you can't take care of a family on that. These guys like run around saying, oh, we want to have a world-class port. If you want a world-class port, then you need to pay your employees a decent world-class wage.
The GFT is also trying to negotiate a contract for bus drivers at the Department of Public Works.
They have been working them like dogs on multiple split shifts. So they'll go to work for 3 hours, they'll have a 2-hour break, a couple more hours, and another 2-hour break. So what ends up happening is they're forced to be on the job site for 12 hours, but they're only getting paid for 8.
The specific unfair labor practice here, he says, is a clause that DPW tried to insert into a recently negotiated contract that would have allowed the legislature to pass laws that would trump the contract.
The Organic Act of Guam is quite clear. It says no law shall be passed to impair an existing contract. So what these guys think, and the port's doing the same damn thing, is they want to put a clause in there that says, we don't care if we have a contract. If somebody changes the law, that'll supersede the contract. We don't negotiate with the legislature.
These are some of the issues that Rector says prompted him to use the union's contacts in Washington to do what he could to cut or curtail federal funding to Guam.
President Obama and the director of the Department of Transportation and the director of the Department of Labor is quite clear on this. We will shut off federal money if you do not negotiate in good faith with your unions. It's clear, they are endangering it.
A lot of people see that threat that you made to go to Washington to cut off federal funds as a threat to the economic lifeline to Guam. How do you respond to that?
Well, that's bullshit. These guys threaten the economic lifeline of Guam by breaking the law, by breaking local laws, by breaking federal laws. What are we supposed to do? Let them go and stamp on these guys' heads, right? We're not going to do it. The law is the law is the law, and we all have to follow it. That's all we're saying is you need to follow the law.
Don't you think you'd be more effective if you worked cooperatively rather than confrontationally?
Look, do I have a confrontational style? No. Do I work cooperatively? Yes. We try to work cooperatively with everybody. When people sit down and negotiate in good faith, it all works out. The difference is I won't back down and I won't be bullied. All right? People in the union elected me to stand for them. People on Guam elected me to stand for them. And I will not be bullied by the powers that be.
It may not seem combative to him, but it does to many observers. Rector is a feisty, opinionated firebrand whose rhetoric harkens back to the more activist and radical days of the union movement. And that scares some people. But then, that's my interpretation, a media view. And as Rector sees it, he hasn't gotten a fair shake from much of the media over the past year. And we'll hear more on that in part 2 of our talk with Matt Rector tomorrow. Kevin Kerrigan, PNC News.